Elon Musk is worth $500 billion. That's more than the GDP of 150 countries. If you earned $5,000 every single day since Columbus discovered America in 1492, you still wouldn't have half of what he's worth today. The world's top 10 billionaires collectively control over $2 trillion, more wealth than the entire continent of Africa. Today, we're breaking down the most wealthy individuals on the planet and how they've built fortunes that defy comprehension. Elon Musk recently became the first person in history to reach a $500 billion net worth, cementing his position as the wealthiest human who has ever lived. His fortune stems from Tesla, valued at over $1 trillion, SpaceX, worth $400 billion, and AI startup xAI, valued at $80 billion. Musk's wealth increased 82% year over year through 2025, adding roughly $225 billion in a single year, more than most billionaires' entire net worth. Tesla's dominance in electric vehicles, combined with SpaceX's revolutionary reusable rockets and Starlink satellite internet, creates a diversified empire spanning transportation, space, and communications. His net worth fluctuates by billions daily based on Tesla stock movements. In September 2025 alone, Musk's wealth increased by $100 billion as Tesla shares surged 33%. A single day's gain exceeded the lifetime earnings of 99.99% of humanity. He owns approximately 13% of Tesla, 42% of SpaceX, and substantial stakes in xAI and Neuralink. Musk's spending remains relatively modest compared to his wealth. He reportedly lives in a $50,000 prefab house near SpaceX facilities, though he owns multiple properties he rarely uses. His primary indulgence is his private jet, a Gulfstream G650ER he uses constantly for travel between Tesla, SpaceX, and X facilities across the United States. Larry Ellison co-founded Oracle in 1977 and built it into the world's second-largest software company. His $350 billion fortune places him second globally, with his wealth surging to over $100 billion in recent months as Oracle's stock soared on AI-driven cloud computing demand. Ellison owns approximately 42% of Oracle, giving him enormous control over the company's direction. Unlike Musk, Ellison maintains a lower public profile while accumulating one of history's largest fortunes through patient, long-term ownership of a consistently profitable enterprise. Ellison owns 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai, which he purchased for $300 million in 2012. His real estate portfolio extends globally, including estates in Malibu, Lake Tahoe, and Japan. One Malibu compound spans 23 acres with 10 buildings in Japanese style, reportedly costing over $200 million to develop. Ellison also maintains a yacht collection, including the 288-foot Rising Sun, though he's recently focused investment on high-tech ventures over luxury toys. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in 1994 from his Seattle garage and built it into the world's largest online retailer, transforming how humanity shops. His $232 billion fortune stems primarily from his roughly 9% Amazon stake, though he's diversified into aerospace through Blue Origin and media with the Washington Post. Bezos stepped down as Amazon CEO in 2021 to focus on Blue Origin, his space exploration company competing with Musk's SpaceX. Blue Origin has invested billions developing reusable rockets and lunar landers, though progress has lagged SpaceX's rapid advancement. Bezos owns multiple extravagant properties, including a $165 million Beverly Hills estate, a $68 million mansion on billionaire Bunker Island in Miami, and a 420,000-acre Texas ranch, where Blue Origin launches occur. His real estate portfolio exceeds $500 million across the United States. His yacht collection includes a $500 million super yacht with accompanying support yacht that carries helicopters and submarines. The main yacht, Koru, measures 417 feet and required 4 years to build. Bezos also owns multiple private jets, including 2 Gulfstream G650ERs that he uses for constant travel between his properties and business interests. Unlike Musk's relatively frugal lifestyle, Bezos embraces luxury consumption. His engagement ring for fiancée Lauren Sanchez reportedly cost $2 to $10 million, and he regularly hosts elaborate parties on his yacht and estates. One New Year's Eve party at his St. Bart's estate reportedly cost over $5 million for a single night's entertainment. Mark Zuckerberg founded Facebook from his Harvard dorm room in 2004 and built it into Meta platforms, controlling Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus. At 41, he's the youngest member of the top 10 wealthiest, with a $254 billion fortune built primarily through his Meta stake. Meta's pivot toward AI and the metaverse has proven expensive, but potentially transformative. Zuckerberg has invested tens of billions into Reality Labs, developing virtual reality hardware and software that has yet to achieve profitability, but positions Meta for potential dominance in emerging computing platforms. Zuckerberg owns approximately 13% of Meta, but controls the company through dual-class share structure, giving him majority voting rights. This allows him to pursue long-term visions like the metaverse, despite investor skepticism and short-term losses exceeding $10 billion annually in Reality Labs. His real estate holdings include a $100 million-plus Hawaii compound on Kauai, spanning 1,400 acres. The property features underground bunkers, private beaches, and sustainable agriculture facilities. Neighbors have criticized the extensive privacy walls and security measures, but Zuckerberg continues expanding the compound as his primary family retreat. Unlike other tech billionaires who embrace luxury brands, Zuckerberg maintains a deliberately modest public image, wearing simple gray t-shirts and jeans. However, his security expenses exceed $20 million annually, and he travels via private jet despite his casual appearance suggesting otherwise. Bernard Arnault built LVMH into the world's largest luxury goods conglomerate, controlling brands like Louis Vuitton, Dior, Fendi, and Tiffany & Company. His $200 billion-plus fortune makes him Europe's wealthiest person and the only non-American in the top 5. Arnault's empire spans 75 luxury brands across fashion, leather goods, perfume, cosmetics, watches, jewelry, and wine. LVMH's strategy focuses on acquiring heritage brands and elevating through premium positioning, masterful marketing, and global distribution networks targeting the ultra-wealthy. LVMH generated over $86 billion in revenue in 2024, with operating margins exceeding 25%, extraordinary for retail businesses. Arnault's family controls LVMH through a holding company structure that maintains voting control while owning less than 50% of equity, ensuring dynastic succession. Arnault divides time between Paris, where LVMH headquarters is located, and multiple chateaux across France. His art collections include works by Picasso, Monet, and contemporary artists with estimated value exceeding $1 billion. Unlike tech billionaires whose wealth fluctuates wildly with stock prices, Arnault's fortune has proven remarkably stable. Luxury goods demonstrate consistent demand among the ultra-wealthy regardless of economic conditions, providing predictable cash flows that support LVMH's premium valuation and Arnault's position among the world's wealthiest. Jensen Huang co-founded NVIDIA in 1993 and has led the company through its transformation from gaming graphics card manufacturer to AI infrastructure provider. NVIDIA's GPUs power virtually all AI training and inference, creating near-monopoly positioning in the most important technology sector globally. NVIDIA's market capitalization exceeded $4 trillion in 2025, making it the world's most valuable company. Huang's approximately 3.5% stake translates to over $100 billion in personal wealth, accumulated primarily through patient, long-term ownership rather than aggressive selling. Huang's leadership style emphasizes technical excellence and long-term vision. He remains deeply involved in product development, despite NVIDIA's massive scale, personally reviewing chip designs and maintaining relationships with key customers like OpenAI, Microsoft, and Google. Unlike flashy tech billionaires, Huang maintains a relatively modest lifestyle. He lives in the same Los Altos Hills house he's owned for decades, drives himself to work in a normal car, and rarely makes headlines beyond NVIDIA's earnings reports. His focus remains building NVIDIA's AI dominance rather than personal luxury consumption. Warren Buffett built his $143 billion fortune through Berkshire Hathaway, the investment conglomerate he's led since 1965. Unlike tech billionaires whose wealth stems from single companies, Buffett's fortune comes from decades of patient, value-focused investing across diverse industries. At 94, Buffett remains actively involved in Berkshire's management, though succession planning is underway. His investment philosophy emphasizes buying undervalued businesses with strong competitive advantages and holding them indefinitely, generating compound returns that have made Berkshire shareholders extraordinarily wealthy. Buffett has pledged to donate over 99% of his wealth to charity, primarily through the Gates Foundation. He's already given away tens of billions, yet his fortune continues growing faster than he can donate it, illustrating the mathematics of compounding wealth at the highest levels. Larry Page co-founded Google in 1998 with Sergey Brin and built it into Alphabet, the world's fourth most valuable company. His $144 billion fortune stems primarily from his approximately 6% Alphabet stake, accumulated through holding nearly all his shares since Google's 2004 IPO. Page stepped back from day-to-day Alphabet management in 2019, but remains actively involved through board membership and major strategic decisions. His current focus includes moonshot projects through Alphabet's X division and private investments in flying cars, space exploration, and renewable energy. Page maintains extreme privacy, rarely giving interviews or making public appearances. He owns multiple properties, including a $45 million yacht, Caribbean island, and homes in Palo Alto, although details remain scarce due to his obsessive privacy practices. Together with Brin, Page pioneered the dual-class share structure that gives founders voting control, regardless of ownership percentage. This innovation, now common among tech companies, allows visionaries to pursue long-term strategies despite short-term shareholder pressure, fundamentally changing how American capitalism operates. Sergey Brin co-founded Google with Larry Page in 1998, developing the PageRank algorithm that revolutionized internet search. His $138 billion fortune stems from his approximately 6% Alphabet stake, making him one of history's wealthiest immigrants. Brin emigrated from the Soviet Union at age 6. Like Page, Brin stepped back from daily operations in 2019, but remains involved through Alphabet's board and special projects. His interests span artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and biotechnology, with particular focus on Parkinson's disease research after learning he carries genetic markers increasing his risk. His divorce from Ann Wojcicki, 23andMe founder, reportedly cost him substantial wealth and settlement, though exact figures remain confidential. Brin has since maintained lower public profile, focusing on long-term technology investment through his family office while avoiding the spotlight that follows Musk and Bezos. Steve Ballmer joined Microsoft in 1980 as employee number 30 and eventually became CEO, leading the company from 2000 to 2014. His $123 billion fortune comes entirely from Microsoft stock he accumulated during his 34-year tenure, making him wealthier than Bill Gates despite never founding a company. Ballmer's passionate, energetic leadership style became legendary through viral videos of his enthusiastic product launches. Under his tenure, Microsoft's review tripled, though his resistance to mobile computing and cloud infrastructure initially allowed competitors like Apple and Amazon to gain advantages Microsoft later recovered under Satya Nadella. Post-Microsoft, Ballmer purchased the Los Angeles Clippers NBA team for $2 billion in 2014, a record price that seemed excessive then, but looks prescient now as franchise values have soared. Ballmer also created USA Facts, a nonprofit that aggregates government data to make government spending and outcomes transparent to citizens. This project reflects his analytical approach to philanthropy, a nonprofit that aggregates government data to make government spending and outcomes transparent to citizens. So what do you think? Does this level of wealth concentration seem justified by innovation and value creation, or does it represent a fundamental problem with modern capitalism? Which billionaire's approach to wealth do you find most interesting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious about your perspectives on extreme wealth.